Pro English means business. Hello everyone, my name is Erika Wagner and I'm going to be debating the pros of why English should be the international language for doing business. According to debatewise.org, the English language is one that is very easy to learn. Unlike the most spoken language in the world, Chinese, for example, it doesn't require most people around the world to learn new numerals. We find other languages also require the learning of new symbols. For instance, this is true in German with the double SS sound but looks like a B, and French with their accents. English as a language doesn't have this. This means that the language is easily accessible to the many. If we wish to communicate effectively, we need all people to be able to communicate in it, even those who have difficulty in learning languages. Therefore, having a global language which requires no learning of characters is very important. Another fact is that English has in the 20th century become the global language. It's the language of trade, diplomacy, and the internet. And since the world is becoming increasingly more and more globalized, countries are more interdependent than ever, and with advances in technology in the last few decades, effective communication is a key factor for successful organization. So in order for companies to clearly communicate within fields such as international trade and economics, as well as diplomacy, a common working language is a key. In addition, this article from Forbes.com titled English, the Language of Global Business expressed that with China's growing economic might, is Mandarin becoming the preferred language of business? Not anytime soon. Instead, English will maintain and grow its dominance, moving from a market of the elite in years past to a basic skill needed for the entire workforce. The new study conducted by EF Education First, a company that specializes in English training programs, says that English might be the most essential language for global business success at the moment. Indeed, even in powerhouse China, more people are currently studying English than in any other country. An incredible 100,000 native English speakers are currently teaching there. So it's clear that the domination of the English language globally is undeniable. English is the language of business, diplomacy, international communication, education science, and computer technology. Also, here's a small portion of a YouTube video presentation of Rupert Harrington, language professor of the University of Leeds, that clearly demonstrates by far the many reasons why the English language should continue to be the international language for doing business.
So, thinking about whether English is a global language, you'll be aware that in some sectors of life we use English extensively. So for example, the whole of the aviation industry, English is the main language, and I'll talk about that a bit later. Shipping is another area. There is a particular maritime code, I think it's called Seaspeak, which is used for dealing with all the regulations for ships passing into a port, etc. And much for that.